Hello, everybody. It is good to have you with us. And we start with a little green there for positivity. Green is a beautiful color. It's actually my favorite color. And what is your favorite color? That's a good question. That's a good way to begin the show, right? What is your favorite color and your favorite color and your favorite color? A lot of color out there today. An absolutely beautiful day here along the coast in the northeastern United States. We were out doing a little hiking and biking and taking full advantage of this absolutely beautiful weather. So I hope the weather is nice wherever you're watching from all around the world. I want to thank everybody who joined us last night. If you didn't get a chance to see the presentation last night, it was unbelievable. We had Dr. Bernie Siegel and his grandson, Charlie Siegel, as our very special guest last night. And the audio was a little funky when Dr. Siegel was talking a little bit, just some sort of a wacky sound coming from his location. But we chatted and we did a show here at the Jim Master Show Live for 3.5 hours. And the conversation just got incredible. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I know in the beginning part, it was a little funky with some of the audio again. Streaming, technology, internet, that's what happens. But if you watch the whole thing, you will be amazed by some of the deep topics and the incredible subjects that we touched upon last night with the episode. The episode actually went 3.5 hours. I've known him for a long time, Dr. Siegel, and he's absolutely amazing. And it was so wonderful to have his grandson, Charlie, joining us as well, who's another inspiration and another true light. And I hope those of you who watch the whole thing, it's available in the archives at YouTube at Jim Masters TV. If you'd like to take a look at that, just look for the Dr. Bernie Siegel and Charlie Siegel special episode. That was an extended episode that we did. Again, normally we try to do the shows an hour and a half, somewhere around there. But sometimes when we get an amazing guest on, we just roll with it. And Dr. Siegel has so much to say and so much to share. Again, he's written 20 books, and he just wrote that book with his grandson, and they were amazing. So again, if you watched last night and you noticed there was a little bit of an audio thing, we went longer. It's an incredible, in-depth, very inspirational, very moving 3.5 hour conversation. It was almost like going to see him speak, at a lecture or give a talk, Dr. Siegel and his grandson, Charlie. It was extraordinary. So again, and the audio, that little audio sound goes away too. So if you watch the whole thing, you'll notice after a while, whatever that funky sound was, it did disappear. So really an amazing, amazing interview. And those of you who watched, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. So it is just after 7 p.m. Eastern here, 4 p.m. Pacific. How has your day been going? It's good to see everybody. Of course, we start off the show. It is Saturday night. We've got that disco ball. I always go over here. I don't know what side that thing is on. It's always a flip. It's over there. There it is. Saturday night, we do the disco ball, and we have something really cool here in our 1960s walnut grain glass. And in here is something called Keke, Keke, and it's a key lime cream liqueur. It was recommended, and We're sampling it for the very first time. Great for a nice Saturday night, beautiful weather, sort of makes you feel like you're in Key West in Florida, USA. So tonight's toast is with key lime cream liqueur. And it's hard to see, but maybe if I could tip it a little bit, can you see it? I don't want to spill it, but it is actually a key lime color. And it actually does taste like key lime pie. It has rum in it as well. So it's a cream liqueur with some rum, and it's key lime, and it's absolutely delicious. So, and it's very light and it's very refreshing for this time of the year. Anyway, just wanted to toast you and you and you and you and you and welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show Live. We're here every single night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, with light, levity, and love. That's right, light, levity, and love. And it's here just for you every night. So let's take a sip of our key. I hope you're sipping something really nice tonight. Maybe it's even just H2O. Wow, that really does taste like a key lime pie. And of course, we cannot do this when we have guests or when we are just here together celebrating our Saturday night. We have George Burns here to greet you. And there he is. He sees you and you and you and you. And I'm glad you guys selected to have him stay on the show because I love him too. And there he is with his cigar. Look at that smile. How do you resist that comedian smile of the one and only George Burns? So the sidekick is here. George Burns is here. You want to see your Jeannie, right? I know everybody asks about Jeannie, so here she is. And she's inside there, and she greets you. I don't know if you can see her in there, but she is in. I know when I tip her, she ends up leaning over and hanging on for dear life onto the beads and couches. But she is in there, and Jeannie greets you as well. And let's see, lest I forget the other regulars, I will be reminded by the folks who love silver, who came from Switzerland when we were on a TV shoot in Europe. Switzerland greets you, as does silver. Silver greets you as well. There he is. Beautiful dog, huh? Really love this. This thing's actually pretty light. It looks like it's very heavy, but it's very light. And we cannot start the show without some of the other routines that we've sort of created and that have become part of the show. Again, it's all about light, levity, and love. There's your friend Jimmy. Jimmy says hello. Dr. Siegel loved this last night. Again, whatever you can do to put smiles on people's faces. You don't have to take everything so seriously all the time, even though there are serious times that we are in right now. A little light, levity, and love just for you. So there's your friend Jimmy. Everybody always asks about Jimmy. I'm going to just gingerly put Jimmy here, and he is hugging Silver down there. And of course, again, we go full out here. This is the Hollywood treatment here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We begin the show Hollywood style with lights, camera, and action. All right, there you go. There's your lights, camera, and action. So the show begins. We welcome you. I'm going to check in with some of the folks who are posting comments already on YouTube as well as on Facebook. It's good to have you with us. We're going to have a lot of viewer interaction. So if you post something and you want me to share it, just do so and let me know where you're located right now and what your day's been like, what you're doing this weekend. How's your day been going? I hope things are good for you wherever you are around the world. We do reach a global audience, which is very cool and very nice to see. And people check in. I can see all the people checking in and they look at it and they see what's going on and things of that nature. And Miss Willie is here from Holland. It's good to see you, Willie. And you see all the different colors, blue and red and olive green. And these are your favorite colors. So Austin Field says his favorite color is red. Willie's is blue. And you like olive green. Okay, so olive green is your color. And good afternoon. My favorite color is blue. Ernestine, good to see you as well. Your favorite color is blue. That is beautiful color. And let's see. Because Joseph likes that vintage glass. Yeah, that comes from the 1960s. And Martin Oliver John Gould. Hello, it's good to see you, Martin. Welcome to the Saturday night edition live of the Jim Masters Show Live. It's good to see you with us here. And hello, Karen. Good to see you as well. Ready for another great show. And of course, Ernestine is in North Carolina. And Kayanne likes the color of red. June is here. Good to see you, June. Welcome as well. It's good to see you. So a lot of people have all different colors, and Martin likes red, of course. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, playing Santa Claus. Of course, red, a good color. And mine has always been green. I don't know why. I guess there's something very calming, maybe soothing about green, perhaps why I like green. We've got some more comments coming in here and a nice smile from June. So, so my favorite color is green, leaning more towards like the Kelly green type thing. What is your favorite color? We're asking people tonight. We're going easy. We're not doing anything too hard. You don't have to really think. It's Saturday night. You don't have to think. You don't have to think hard. We're just here to make you laugh. And let's see. Hi, Jimmy. I'm glad to see you. I heard about you from Paul Green, and now I'm a fan. Thank you very much. And I'm sure you probably saw the interview we did with my friend Paul, the actor musician, a couple of nights ago here on the show exclusively. It was a really great interview. We had a great conversation, really touched upon some really deep subjects and about life, about everything, about our careers. And he played for us as well, which was really cool. That was really nice. So good to meet you, Diane. We're here every night with a unique experience every night because we do so many different things each night. Sometimes we have guests through the week. Sometimes we talk to you directly into viewer interaction. Tomorrow night, we're going to celebrate our viewer of the week. That's right. Tomorrow night, we will be celebrating one of our viewers from around the world for viewer of the week. We're looking forward to that. Interesting color, purple. Love that one too. Purple is a nice color, June, and cobalt blue. That's a real interesting choice. That's a nice color too. And Willie in the Netherlands says green is the color of nature. And you like the nature. Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you some photos. I'm a photographer as well. And if we were talking with Charlie Siegel last night, who's a fine art nature photographer with his grandfather, the noted Dr. Bernie Siegel. And one of the things that Charlie does is nature photography. And I've always done a lot of photography as well. I love it. So I'm going to share some really soothing and picturesque shots for you as well tonight as part of the show. And hi from Kansas. You like blue, Marilyn? That is really wonderful. Blue is a nice color. Just look up at the sky when the sky is just that bright, beautiful blue. I'm going to show you one of those photos where I captured the sky in such a bold color of blue. It was absolutely amazing. And so good to see you, Marilyn from Kansas. I love it. And Martin Oliver, John Gould says, my first color would be aquarium, soothing and calming. The sea colors are definitely like the aquas and the sort of the turquoises, very soothing. Hi, everybody from Iowa. Renee Jones, Oscar, good to see you in beautiful Iowa. And June says hello to Iowa as well. And we say hello to Iowa. So it's great to have you with us today. And it's nice to see that everybody's doing well and everybody's having a good day today. And everybody's just, I guess, calm and relaxed. And that's what the weekend's for, right? You look forward to the weekends, and some people work on weekends too. I mean, we're doing this right now. I used to do a radio show on iHeartRadio for 18 years where I worked every Saturday and Sunday hosting it and producing it. And it was on 10 hours live, 5 hours live on Saturdays and 5 hours live on Sundays. And it was almost like a home shopping network type show where I was hosting a call-in consumer shopping show. And people were buying all kinds of hotel getaways, and they were buying dinner certificates it was way before Groupon and all of those other online things. This was actually a shopping show where I visited all the businesses, and then we got gift certificates, and we offered them at 70 to 80% off. It was extraordinary. People loved that. We did that for a long, long time. And Jim, we are very impressed with your program. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We are in week number 6. Actually, Monday will be week number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 weeks we've been on the air nightly with extraordinary fun and levity and light and love. And we've got some more great interview last night, Jim, 3.5 hours. Good stuff, wasn't it? If you stick with it, there was a little bit of that weird sort of interference. All three of us, Charlie and Bernie and I, were trying to figure out that was. We think it might have been coming from Bernie's location, perhaps. Dr. Siegel's computer was doing automatic updates just before he came on. You know how your computer sometimes does an automatic update. So his was automatically updating just about 2 seconds before he joined us on the air. So we had to scramble and he had to throw it together. But if you watch the whole interview, that sound goes away, and it was 3.5 hours. And he and they want to come back on the show. They loved it so much. A lot of these guests, which is nice to hear, they actually love the experience so much, Dr. Siegel and Charlie Siegel, that they want to come back on the show. So we're gonna have them back. I'm very, very happy to welcome them back. They're good people and good friends. And thank you, Ken. I appreciate that very much. And Alan Thayer, wonderful chef. Good to see you, Alan. Hope you guys are doing well and you're having a beautiful weekend. It's certainly really nice here along the coast. Absolutely beautiful. And hopefully you get outside and enjoy some of that weather if you haven't. Pamela says, Jim, blue, but not just any. She likes blue, royal blue. Royal blue is really, really nice. Nice to see you, Pamela. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the show. We got the disco ball going because on Saturday night we throw that disco ball on and get into the scene. We'll have to get some music too, and maybe have some disco music or something going soon. Kathleen Walker in New York, the Queen of Queens, New York. We say hello to Kathleen as well. It's good to see everybody. So a lot of you have mentioned the different colors, your favorite colors. You've got some really nice choices there. I wonder if anybody likes gray or black or white, those colors. Most people tend to, it seems, always pick colors that are more vibrant, like the greens, the blues, the purples, the yellows, the reds. I remember when we were in school, we were taught, I don't know if any of you were taught this, but we were taught how to remember the colors of the rainbow and of the spectrum. And the way that our teachers taught us in elementary school, which I thought was really cool to get the kids to be able to remember the various colors, was to remember it as somebody's name. So the name was Roy G. Biv, like it was a man named Mr. Roy G. Biv. And that got us all, the kids back in school, to remember the colors of, the rainbow and of the spectrum. And the Roy G. Biv, the R is, of course, red. It's really cool how the teacher came up with this. And it was an art teacher or a science teacher. I don't remember. It might have been both. The Roy G. Biv was really cool because the red is the R, the orange is the O, the Y, of course, is the yellow. The G is the green. So you got the Roy G. And then the B is the blue. The I is indigo. And then the V is violet. So Roy G. Biv. We always were thinking Mr. Roy G. Biv was a person and the colors of the rainbow. So pretty cool, huh? The things that teachers would teach you to get you to remember certain things. I thought that was very ingenious. Kathleen loves gray. So we have a gray lover here. That is terrific. And Renee in Iowa loves purple. I was thinking that, Martin, but I rolled with it anyway. Aquamarine. Aquarium. I mean, there's sort of that aquamarine color inside an aquarium anyway, right? As long as you keep the aquarium clean. I have to tell you a little story that makes me think, the aquarium thing makes me think of something, a little story I want to tell you. I used to have a 20-gallon aquarium. First, when I was a kid, it was in my bedroom. And then it got moved to the den. And I was the one who took care of it. We had tropical fish in there. We also had, we actually had a goldfish that lasted about 15 years, as rare as that is. And that was Wally. And when I went off to college, my sister was tasked with being the one to clean the aquarium, take care of it, maintain it. So, generally what you do is when you clean an aquarium, you take the fish out, you put them in other water, and then, of course, you take the gravel out. It's quite a process to disconnect the filter, take the lid off the filter, take the plants out and any other decorative items that are in there. And you take the gravel out and you clean it and scrub it, purified water and things of that nature. And then you put the gravel back in and you fill it with the water and make sure everything is good, the balance of the water, the filter's hooked back in, the plants are back in, everything is back in. And then the fish, one by one, get gently let back into the aquarium. So I love that aquarium. That aquarium was very special to me. I had it for a long time. Again, it was in my bedroom first, and then it ended up, when I went to college, it was moved in the den so the rest of the family could take care of it. So my sister was tasked with taking care of the aquarium while I was off to college. And my sister likes to clean. My sister, I think my mother too, they both like to clean and clean, take all the windows out and scrub them. And my sister cleans a lot. She just, if you have this thing here, and sometimes I remember one time my father hadn't even read the Sunday newspaper yet. And she, she took it out and she put it in the recycle bin in the garage. And he said, "What the heck happened to the Sunday paper? I haven't even read it yet." And because it was just sitting there idly, she took it and she had put it in the recycle pail in the garage. So had to go get that and bring that back in so he could still read the Sunday paper. But I came home from college one year and I went into the house, my parents' house, and I went downstairs to the den, getting ready to look at the tropical fish. And Wally, the goldfish that survived so many different things, a goldfish that ended up this big that lasted 15 years, which is rare for goldfish. He once even flipped out of the aquarium and landed on the floor, and I came home from school and he was there. I don't know how he got out. Put him back in and it was like he magically came back to life. He withstood everything. However, I came home from school and where the aquarium used to be, there was a end chair. There was like a Queen Anne chair. There was a chair sitting where the aquarium was. So I went up stairs and towards the kitchen and I said, where's the aquarium? Where are the fish? Where is Wally? Is it in another room? What happened? What the whole thing's gone and there's just a chair there. It's like nobody's saying anything. Maybe he won't notice that the aquarium is gone and we have a chair now in the spot where the aquarium was. You know what happened? My sister, who again thought she was doing the right thing, because she was a young teenager, she early, if even that, so she thought she was doing something helpful, and she thought that what she used would really get that gravel nice and clean. Now, it would make sense if it was maybe a kitchen sink or a bathtub, but gravel for an aquarium, maybe not so much. The reason why the aquarium was missing and there was a chair in the den where the aquarium was when they took the fish out to put it in special bowls and things like that. She was getting ready to clean the aquarium. What she used, again, thinking that it would work because it works in the kitchen sink and it works in the bathtub and the bathroom sinks. And back then, she thought by using Comet, that would really get the gravel super clean, because Comet back then cleaned the sinks and cleaned the bathtubs and cleaned, the sink in the bathrooms and everything else. So she figured, hey, we're using Comet, when Mom and I clean, we're using Comet in the sink, and this is water and it's like tank-like, and maybe it'll be great for the gravel to get the gravel clean. Well, the problem, I guess, was, or at least the story that I heard, was that the gravel was cleaned with the Comet, then the gravel was put back in, and then the water went in and the filter and the plants and the little bridge and all the little things, the decorative items, and then the fish went back in. And I think the story goes one by one, they flipped upside down, and every single one of them, the tropical fish and Wally, who survived 15 years and survived flipping out of the top of the tank and landing on my bedroom floor once, were gone. Obviously, that Comet being abrasive, sort of the gravel absorbed the Comet, I guess. So while the fish were in there swimming and having fun, the comet was being released from the gravel and took care of every single one of them. So comet killed the fish. So that's why when I came home from one of the weekends, because I lived on campus in college, came home looking for that wonderful aquarium that I had since I was like 13, and it was gone, and it was replaced by a chair. And nobody was going to say anything until I asked. So that was a little bit of a blow and a little bit of a crush. That weekend was sort of one to write off. But again, she thought she was doing the right thing. She didn't know, you know. But Comet, I would not recommend. Do not use Comet for gravel for the aquarium. So Martin, that aquarium made me think about that story with the aquarium and with the fish. So Kathleen says that, did anybody have fish? Did you guys have an aquarium when you were growing up? I used to have those little, you can't have them anymore, but I used to have those little green turtles. Remember the little green turtles? Those were cute. We used to have those as a kid. But we also had a dog. We had a couple of different dogs, at different times. One of them, my favorite, was our English Springer Spaniel. Loved our English Springer Spaniel. Maybe one of these days I'll show you some photos. The name was Sparky. And the reason why the name was Sparky is because when he was born, that was the name that the person gave. Usually, and Kathleen loves all shades of gray. That's fantastic. Does that include 50 shades? Well, you said you love all shades of gray and Saturday night, so I don't know. I'm sure you'll answer that. 50 Shades of Gray as well? We'll find out. Kathleen will update us in just a moment on the Jim Master Show Live. Anyway, a couple more comments coming in here. You got to have fun. Light, levity, and love. When I was young, I wore black for 20 years. Loved black. Did you really? Wow. And do you still love black? I mean, I know you like aquamarine. Do you still like the black color as well? Let's see. You have no trouble talking for 5 hours on the radio. I like to listen to your stories. Thank you very much, Willie in beautiful Holland. And yeah, you would think, right, 5 hours straight talking on the radio, on iHeartRadio, and then have to do it the next day. That was tough. But I loved it. It came easy because, I'm a communicator. I studied television and radio broadcasting. I'm a professional television and radio host and an MC and actor and journalist, all these different things I mentioned. So I've done it for a long time. So it comes easy for me. We were always trained never to have any dead air. Don't have any silence because that's bad. So that's great. And I'm so happy that you're joining us from the Netherlands. Beautiful area. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that story is amazing about the comet and the gravel, right? Jim, I love to clean. I'm slightly OCD, so you know how that goes. My sister does too. Sometimes my sister cleans out of nerves too. If you get nervous or you're thinking about something, then all of a sudden the mop comes out and the broom comes out and you're just cleaning away. And but I guess it's good. Your house must be spick and span polished. You could probably eat off your floors, right, Pamela? Martin had a 150-gallon tank. Wow. With a black shark and albino Oscar for 20 years. It was so calming. That's the heavy duty stuff. That's the real deal. Wow. That's cool. That's amazing. Yes, Comet can take the enamel off your teeth. Not that we would want to experiment. You didn't experiment with that as a kid, did you, Christopher, there in Ohio? I certainly hope not. Yes, I know. That was sad, right? I know. Coming back from college, all excited for the weekend, and that one of the first things I did was wanted to see our dog, Sparky, the family, of course, but the dog Sparky, and then downstairs in the den, the aquarium, and there was just a chair sitting there. How did they not think that I would not go down in the den and look for the aquarium, and that by just putting this nice chair in the corner there, I wouldn't notice that? Maybe he'll come in and he'll go through the den. Led to off the den was our there was a door that went off the den into the backyard, into the patio and by the swimming pool, into the backyard. So they might have thought, oh, maybe when he comes home, he's going to just go through the den quickly and go outside into the backyard. Not without looking for the aquarium and looking for Wally. Ernestine says, wow, and I know, Wally, 15 years. Unbelievable. And Renee had fish and turtles. Yes, remember the turtles? You can't get those anymore, those little green ones, supposedly, because they say, I don't know, there's a salmonella issue or something like that. Willie says, oh, Jim. And Kathleen says, I knew you'd say that. What, the 50 Shades of Grey? Yeah, you fed that line, didn't you? When you said you love all shades of gray, Kathleen. I know you with that fellow, you're a fellow comrade of mine with the Irish humor. There's no way you can live in Queens, New York, Kathleen, without having Irish in you. That's for sure. You knew I would say that. And I knew you would respond too. You had a salamander named Sally. Wow, June. That's a cool, I wouldn't say pet. People don't like to use the word pet anymore. Back then we would say that was our pet, but they're really like family members. Our dog Sparky was beautiful. I'll have to get pictures. Beautiful white and black with a tail, very unusual. It was a complete English Springer Spaniel, but we sort of thought maybe there was a little terrier mixed in. We weren't sure. We usually would get if we were to have a pet, we would go to the Animal League, or ASPCA or one of the shelters to get one of them from there. But to get this particular kind of dog that I was looking for, I was about 14, 15 years old. I wanted a dog that matched the dog that my Aunt Dorith and Uncle Fred have in Massachusetts. My Aunt Dorith, she spells it Dorith. She's originally from Vienna, Austria. So it looks like it's Dorith, but it's actually Dorith. They live in Massachusetts, my mother's brother and his wife, beautiful wife, Aunt Dorith. They had a dog named Heidi. And they named Heidi because my aunt is from Austria, so sort of that Austrian German name. And so the dog's name was Heidi. It was my cousin Susie's dog. And every time we would go up to Massachusetts, we would go up north to Connecticut and to Massachusetts to visit my mother's side of the family for about a month. So my mother's the youngest of 16. My mother has a huge family. So we would, and they're all over the country, and they're in Canada, they're in Europe. We've got a lot of relatives everywhere, but the main contingent we would visit in Connecticut and Massachusetts for about a month every August, because it would take about a month to see everybody. And we would go up to Massachusetts, and there was Heidi, this beautiful English Springer Spaniel, very friendly. And I just fell in love with it. And when we came back home, I said, oh boy, I would love to get, a dog like Heidi, an English Springer Spaniel. So we looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and we found one in the paper. It was actually a woman in New York on Long Island who bred them and took very good care of them as well. And we saw an ad. I showed the parents, had to do a little bit of a sales pitch to get everybody to agree because they thought that if I was going to go off to school one day that everybody would be stuck taking care. But everybody fell in love with, that was our third dog actually. But my father and I went over to the woman's house, the breeder's house, to see, who's loving this story about Sparky, the English Springer Spaniel? Silver is listening intently. We went over and, we called the woman and we said, we're the Masters family and we'd like to come over and see the dog that you have available. And the woman said, absolutely. Can you come over after dinner, like 6:30? So my father and I drove over. I was like 13, 14, so my father did the driving. And we knocked on the door. The woman answered. We went inside the house, and there she had a special area, very beautiful area, kennel where they were raised. And there was one particular little dog that was about 6 months old that came right up to me, just ran right up to me. And that was it. That was it for the dog, and that was it for me. That was it. Sold in terms of, yes, definitely. And it was really a beautiful experience. So that was the one. And we asked, what's his name and how old is he? 6 months. And his name is Sparky. And if you'd like him, he is available. And it really didn't, we gave her something. She didn't she didn't want any money either, but we gave her something, for her time. But she said, in order for you to have Sparky, you have to agree to something. So my father was like, okay, sure, anything. What would it be? And she said, well, you have to agree that in 6 months, I'm going to stop by your house and I want to see how Sparky's doing. I want to check on Sparky and I want to make sure that the dog is well fed, that the yard is, fenced in, and that the dog is being taken care of and that there's no issues. The dog isn't being neglected. So we actually really liked that she didn't want to just raise a dog and get rid of it, that she really cared about, the puppies. And so, of course, she said, oh, and then there's one other thing. And my dad said, sure, what's that? She said, I also want to come back in a year. So I want to come back in 6 months to check to make sure that the dog is doing fine and there's no abuse, there's nothing happening, malnutrition or anything. And I want to come back in 1 year as well. If you agree to that, I will let you have the dog. So, of course, my father said, sure, we agree to that. You can come over and just call us and let us know when you want to come over in 6 months, and you can see the dog and the yard and everything, see the house. And you can also come in 1 year. Just let us know and we'll make sure we're there. So she did. She actually did. 6 months later, she did come unannounced. She didn't call. She knocked on the door and they answered it. I think my mother answered and she said, hi, I'm Joan, or what, I don't even remember what the woman's name was. I think it was Joan. She said, I'm here. Remember, I was the one who gave you the English Springer Spaniel, Sparky, who looked exactly like my cousin's dog, Heidi. So we were in heaven. And I'm here to make sure he's doing okay. Can I come inside? Can I see the living quarters? Can I see the yard? Can I see, how he's doing? Can I see the dog? So, of course, we let her in, and she loved it. She said, wow, this is great. He's so happy. He looks, healthy. And, oh, that's great. That's great. I'm very pleased that you're taking care of the dog. So she said, I'll be back in 6 months. That would make the year. So they said, sure, you're welcome to come in 6 months to check again if you like. So she never did. She never came back. She liked what she saw. She liked the way we were treating him and how he was part of the family. He was a family member and how he loved it all. And she loved it. She never came back again. So that was great. That was a wonderful experience. So, yeah, we've had dogs. My sister has had cockatoos, cockatoo, those big white birds with the feather that comes out. They go with the feather. Those things are funny. When you make certain funny noises, the thing springs its yellow up. Let's see, we've got some more coming in here. I had miniature turtles too, Jim, until Mom read they carried the diseases. Yeah, I guess the salmonella. You had it in the pond behind your home, and they went. Put them in the pond, and then they scurried off. They were cute, weren't they? To have those little turtles. You had the turtles and the fish, and allergic to feathers. Allergic to feathers. So yeah, so birds really wouldn't be. One of my cousins, my cousin Kathy, had these seahorses, and I forget how it worked. I just remember like some sort of a pouch or something, and you put the pouch in the water, and all of a sudden these things developed in their aquarium or whatever setup that she had. She also had guinea pigs too. I remember distinctly she had guinea pigs. We have a couple of little bunny rabbits, just little bunnies. I mean, they're kind of cute little things. They're just this big, and sometimes they just run around outside. They're there. I don't know how they survive, but they're there, and they stop by every once in a while, and they just sit there. Ask Martha. We grew up with 2 German shepherds, wolves, Sam and Rover. My cousin had a German shepherd named Hans, my cousin Barbara in Connecticut. And my mother's oldest sister, Gertie, used to be so afraid. She was afraid of dogs She was very afraid of dogs. And one time when she heard that Hans jumped through a window at one time, she said, Barbara, when we get together, I want you to come to our house. Because once she heard that the German Shepherd jumped through a window, no less, saw something outside and jumped through the window and didn't think anything of it and wasn't even really injured, which is amazing. No, we don't have fish today. I wish we did. Always traveling, so they would have to be, transported a lot. Although the last couple of months with everybody sort of, stationary with everything going on, definitely could have had it. But I've been really thinking about getting them again. Do you have any right now, Diane? They're cool to have. They're just, they're soothing, and if you take care of them, I remember. I used to love to go into department stores, and remember they would have the pet section or the aquarium section, and you go in and look at all the different fish that were there and all the different, pets and different things. That was just cool. We would go into the stores and we'd be going for a certain reason, but I would always ask, hey, can I run over to the pet department and take a look at all the different fish and the different pets? Woolworth's was, I don't know if anybody remembers Woolworth, but Woolworth was a store that had a great pet section as well. You just go in and there'd be an older woman behind the counter named, Frida or Beatrice or something, Agnes perhaps. And hi, how are you, Sonny? Would you like to take a look at the fish? Yep, that's the way it was. And let's see, 50 Gray, 50 Shades of Gray, that movie, absolutely. And Karen, I really thought you would get a real kick out of that show last night with Dr. Bernie Siegel and Charlie Siegel. And I'm glad that you watched the entire 3.5-hour episode. That was a very, very special episode. There was no plan to go that long. We just kept talking. It was like we had a cup of coffee, and we were just sitting and relaxing and talking amongst friends. And that's how I like to do things anyway. Even with my interviews on this show or professionally, a lot of people will tell you, Jim, this is easy because I like to make it a conversation. Well, because I interviewed you on the radio, Karen. I like to make it a conversation. Some people get nervous when they hear interview. And I tell them, don't even think interview. It's not question, answer, and then boom. Because a lot of times, people that are tasked with interviewing people and hosting, they're not listening. They're not paying attention. They're just interested in, the question that they're asking, but they don't listen to the answer. And sometimes the answer that is given is even richer and more engaging than the next question you thought you were going to ask. So I listen intently, and I always like to find things that are relatable. Like I mentioned the Death Valley story last night to them. And I knew that Charlie, matter of fact, after that show last night, we all texted each other. They loved being on the show, and I was so happy. I'm going to go up to their shop and see the Wisdom of the Ages shop as well. Take a look at that. And Charlie said, anytime you're there, let me know. I'll introduce you to my mom. His mother is Jane Siegel. And, I will make sure I'm there so I can greet you. So I heard from Dr. Siegel, from Bernie today, as well as Charlie. Charlie, right after we wrapped up the show, emailed me right away, and then I texted him, and he texted back. They loved being here last night, and I was very happy to hear that. Even with the weird, interference or whatever that was, if you really listen closely, you can hear what he's saying, and then again, that goes away. So if you stick with that episode, that goes away, and then it's clean as a bell, and it's really a lot of life lessons in that episode last night. Let's see. Hi, Sweden here. Christiana, that is wonderful. It's good to see you from Sweden. My great grandmother was from Sweden. I have Swedish in me. I actually have English, Irish, Swedish, and French. I'm English and Irish on my father's side. My father's side, the Masters came from England, Yorkshire. My father's mother's side came from Ireland, and they all settled in New York City. And my mother's side of the family is English, Swedish, and French. Now, if you do your DNA, which I haven't done yet. You never know. You could have even more things in you, especially here in America. You know, you may have, but the ones we definitely know of are, there might be possibly some Dutch in there too. We had heard, and some Finland, where there might be some of that as well. But we definitely know England, Ireland, Sweden, and France. And my great grandmother, my mother's grandmother, so that would be my mother's mother, Hilma Halvardsson from Gothenburg, Sweden. She lived there in a castle. She grew up in a castle in Sweden, and she was a princess. And there's a connection with the Swedish, the sort of the royal family in Sweden. And she was a princess that grew up in this castle there, and the castle is still there. We were hoping to come over to Sweden to visit and see this family castle that's there. And she came to America when she was a child, and she ended up in Boston, Massachusetts. And then as she got older, she met a gentleman by the name of Arthur Kierstead, and his family came from Europe, and they ended up in New York. And then they, instead of staying in America, they went up to Canada, and they settled Kierstead Mountain and Kierstead Falls in New Brunswick, Canada. So we have family on my mother's side, the Kierstead side, that is up, and that's my mother's side, up in Canada, who settled a town and a mountain and a beautiful area up in New Brunswick. So we have about 100 more relatives up there too. Arthur Kierstead, he came down from Canada. He landed in Boston, Massachusetts. He met my Swedish great-grandmother Hilmer. They dated, they got married, and they lived in Waltham, Massachusetts, just outside Boston. And then they had moved to Hartford, Connecticut. And that's when they had the 16 kids, with my mother being the youngest. So we have connections to Sweden. And must be why I used to drive a Volvo. 2 Volvos I had. I love good Swedish bread too. And Martha Oliver Swartz says, hi, everybody. Martha in Michigan. Martin is here as well. Martin loves every color in the spectrum. So yes, still wear black. Yes, so it's the Roy G. Biv method, right? And we got the Jimmy Cocoa Pop. And twin brother, exactly. And Christopher says, went on vacation. My sister was going to feed the goldfish, and you were gone. When you got back, they were all gone. I tell you, I don't know what it is. Sisters, sometimes they're looking out for us, but don't forget the squirrel and the mini fox terriers. And June had Petey the parakeet and Lady the beagle. We had a beagle once too. Beagles are great. They're very loyal, as was the English Springer Spaniel. Still miss, and one of the greatest dogs. Wow, what a wonderful big family. Yeah, Pamela, definitely. I would agree. And more comments coming in. Hello, twin Martha. I'm still the prettier one, LOL. Martin says he's prettier than Martha. I'll let those two duke it out at the holiday table. And and Sebastian and Stretch the cats. Wow, what kind of cats were they, June? That's cool. Cool name. Kelly Marca. Hello to everybody. Christine, Christopher, June, Karen, and everyone. And they're all saying hello to each other. Nice story of the dog, Sparky. Yes, the English Springer Spaniel. Your Aunt Ruth had Great Danes. My cousin Barbara, after Hans, the German Shepherd, passed away, the one my Aunt Gertie was afraid of, then she got Great Danes, beautiful dogs. One in particular named Duchess. She loved us and was protective. We rode on her back like a horse. Yes. They don't live very long, unfortunately. Great Danes don't have a very long lifespan. Let's see. Gina Esposito Rivera. Wow, Gina, it's good to see you. How are you? Jim, you look great. Hope all is well. Doing fine. I hope you're doing well and things are going smoothly on your end as we survive everything we've all been dealing with in the last couple of months here. We're definitely in this together. Last night's interview with Dr. Bernie Siegel and Charlie, great interview. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you about, if you missed last night, I'm going to tell you about some amazing guests that we have on the show coming this week. Tomorrow we're here too. And we've got our Viewer of the Week celebration tomorrow and so much more. Christopher says, I used to go to the pet store as a teenager to see a macaw parrot. They would let it out of the cage and it would sit on my shoulder and chew on my ear. The parrot's name was Charlie. Wow. You should do the ancestry DNA. I was surprised at mine. Yeah, a lot of people are being very surprised. Let's see. French, Dutch, Arab, Polish, English, Swiss, Dutch, German. That sounds like quite a sandwich there with some mustard on the side and a pickle. Siegel is not Siegler's story, right? That's fine. Prince Jim, thank you very much. And we also had a Shetland pony with a riding sulky. Wow, our father used to give rides to every child in our neighborhood. That's terrific. We used to go on pony rides too as kids. I remember that. You don't really see any of that stuff anymore for the kids. There's a lot of stuff that the kids don't have anymore that we had access to. Blessings and good health to you, Jim, and your family and all your listeners. Thank you very much, Martin. I appreciate that. They were street cats. Wow. And crew. Yes. And the crew as well. They are all here. Yes. Wasn't that a great interview, Lori? It was 3.5 hours. It really, really was in depth, all about life. Dr. Siegel lost his wife not that long ago, so we talked about dealing with that and how you cope with things like that. It's good to see you guys in Florida, sending love, and we'll be calling tomorrow morning to say hi to everybody. Christopher says hi to everybody, and we always had dogs growing up, now have 2 grand dogs. Love your hat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, KN. I like to sport this every once in a while. And now I'm going to show you some photos too. I've got some cool things. If you're just joining us, if you're wondering again, some people like to wonder what's in the glass because we like to toast. Tonight we have some Kiki. It's called K-E-K-E is how you spell it. Kiki, key lime cream or creme liqueur. And it actually is, it's got a green, but it's delicious. It tastes like key lime pie. It's very light, it's refreshing. It's really good. You think you're having a slice of key lime pie. It's very light too. No, it is very light. Let's see, more coming in here before I show you some really cool pictures. We always had dogs growing up. Now we have 2 grand dogs. That's wonderful. You love the hat. I think I showed that one before, didn't I? And I used to raise pet lambs. That's an interesting story too. All of your interviews are great. It just keeps getting better all the time. Thank you, Christopher. I really appreciate that. Sis Lori says, yum, yummy, yum, yum. Definitely. Yes. If there's a way that I could share it through the screen, and I'm saying to Lori, did these glasses look very familiar? Remember seeing these in the buffet in the dining room for many, many years? Yep, absolutely. These go back to the 1960s. These are really cool. There's a whole set of different colored ones. And I've shown them a couple of times during the Mother's Day episode when we did a Sunday brunch episode. We actually cooked a whole Sunday brunch and did a whole episode of the show with all this Sunday brunch food. And we did it on Mother's Day, and we were over in the dining room, and we did a whole food fest episode on a Sunday morning. Isn't that great? Lopez, your queen, good to see you. You are crazy. You know, you have to be to survive what goes on in this world. You have to be. There's no way. Like if you were watching Dr. Bernie Siegel, the legendary Dr. Bernie Siegel said last night, and I trust his words. He said, nobody is normal. And he's the doctor. He's the good doctor. He said, nobody is normal. You know, some of us are just more tame than others, but nobody's normal. Yes, Lori says yes, absolutely, absolutely. So here's some cool shots to put some smiles on your faces. As I mentioned, I'm a photographer too. We went to, before the pandemic and everything, I was in a TV shoot in Columbus, Ohio. So I just have a couple quick pictures, and we went to the beautiful Columbus Museum of Art in Columbus, Ohio. And they had this really cool exhibit all about chairs. Now, I tend to be a chair person, you know, like a collector of chairs, because chairs, I think, are very expressive. And the artists were displaying in the museum, and it was really a cool exhibit at the Columbus Museum of Art in Columbus, Ohio. And here's some pictures here. Now, that's the actual outside of the Columbus Museum itself. It was really, really nice. It was a beautiful night, and it was just really, really, the temperatures, it was just a stunning evening, really, really nice evening. And we enjoyed ourselves. And the exhibit was about chairs, and some really funky chairs like that one. That's a chair. Really, really cool stuff. Every once in a while, just going into something like an art museum can be really just soothing and relaxing, and just can be really, really terrific. I think it's just really great when you get a chance to do that. Make sure that you do it if you can, because of course you can't do it yet, but once the museum's open, sometimes there's so many incredible exhibits. Would you believe that's a chair as well? Isn't that unbelievable? That is a chair. And the ones in the back too are chairs. It's really cool stuff when you see that, isn't it? Let me see. We're going to make it so you can see it even better. We'll take that. There, look at that. I mean, it's actually beautiful. I believe that whole thing is made out of some sort of like a paper mache or something like that. It's really amazing. So that actually is a chair. And then the ones in the back, those are chairs as well. And it's really cool when you see it. So those are chairs. And let's see, again, this was all at the Columbus Museum of Art. Beautiful area in Columbus, Ohio. There's another one. Those two are chairs, obviously. Really funky, huh? That's a chair. And this particular one seems to be a favorite of a lot of people. Look at that one, huh? Isn't that a cool chair? That's a really cool chair, that one there. And just look at the detail, too. That particular chair, everybody was taking pictures of that one. That was a very popular chair that night. So really funky stuff. And again, that was an exhibit at the Columbus Museum of Art. Here's some other shots too of some of the other artwork there. Really beautiful stuff. Now, I mentioned that I like photography. Oh, here's what we were doing today. Posted this on Facebook as well. We were cycling today all along the coast. And it was a beautifully ideal weather to be cycling along the coast today. I love cycling. I've been cycling for a long time and just love it. So today, that's what we were doing, cycling along the beautiful coast. The weather absolutely stunning today. Here are some shots to put some smiles on your faces. Again, if you've been stuck in your house or you've just not gotten a chance to get out and really go to the water or just do some sightseeing, there's a shot I grabbed along the coast. This, believe it or not, is actually in Florida, when we were in Florida. What I love about that shot is the reflection. You see the bird, but look at the ideal reflection. And, there's a lot of commentary. I think I've done some master's mantras with that particular photo, sort of like, I can see clearly now, or, you're a reflection of yourself and things of that nature, seeing double. But it's almost a perfect reflection of that bird. And I just captured that. The bird was actually posing. And it's right there in the ocean. That's the Atlantic Ocean, but it was calm. This one, cool, perched high above, just sitting there. It's amazing how they tuck the feet in, right? Just sitting there high above at the top of the ladder, literally. Here's another shot that I think would put a smile on your face that I took. Is that not soothing and peaceful? We could certainly use more of that in our lives, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's in Florida, when we were in Florida, as was this shot. Just really nice, just very soothing and relaxing. We can all use shots like this in our life. Here's another one. Sunset. I love the silhouette of the trees. You can see the silhouette of the trees. And then you've got the beautiful multicolored sky, the pink and the orange and the Just really, really something. And then this shot I love too. You've Got a Friend. I think I titled that one, You've Got a Friend. And that's just the two sitting there or standing there, just sort of eyeing each other and talking to each other. And I think I titled that one, again, that's off the Florida coast, You've Got a Friend. And I thought that that was a really nice one to share with you. Now, a number of you said that you love the color blue, different shades of blue. Here's a couple of shades of blue in this photo I captured. This photo is off the southern New England and Connecticut coast. Not only do you have blue in that shot, but you also have white and you have pink and you have purple, you have light blue, you've got royal blue. It was just, and it's over the coast in southern New England along the Connecticut coast. And it was just absolutely stunning, and just had to grab the camera and just start firing away because it was breathtaking. So there's a lot of different colors of blue there. And again, just wanted to give you some soothing things to look at as we have some fun tonight on a Saturday night here on the show. Here's another shot along the coast as well. Again, just the water looks like glass. That water leads out to the Long Island Sound, which separates Connecticut and Long Island, New York. So you're looking out towards the Sound, and there's houses there on the water and everything. But that was just, it was a sunset situation and just really looked peaceful. And the water was so still, it looks like a really beautifully waxed floor, doesn't it? Really, really nice. And here's another shot that I captured. This is actually along a golf course as well in southern New England. And the way that the sun was sort of peeking through the branches, this was a couple of weeks ago. This is before the leaves were on the trees. Now the leaves are on the trees. But the way the sky looks, the colors, the grass, a little bit of the brown, as well as the way the reflection is coming through the branches of the tree with the sun perfectly peeking through the branches of that one particular tree, and then creating almost that sort of ghost-like effect, spirit-like effect, whatever it may be, whatever you want to call it, whatever it represents for you. Really, really something, huh? Just a stunning shot. And then, you know how I'm always toasting on this show as well? I'm always toasting all of you, toasting you and you and you and you. Well, one of the things I do is host a lifestyle travel TV series professionally. And we do a lot of that toasting, going sampling at lots of great restaurants. And here's one of the actual toastings that I'm doing. And that's a little red wine. And that's from one of the TV shoots for one of the TV shows that I host, which is on CW and Fox and CBS affiliates. So some really nice shots there that I wanted to share with you. And there's something else here to put a smile on your face that I came across that I thought was kind of cool. Do you ever feel sometimes like you are being watched, or like, there's just there's something that is hovering over you? Take a look at this shot. There's the Incredible Hulk. And you raise me up, literally. That actually was at the Madame Tussauds in New York City, and one of the exhibits was the Incredible Hulk. So it was a cool shot where you can go right inside, and inside his hand, just about almost like he's just about to grab you. So that was a lot of fun. And let's see. Oh, we're going to take you back in time. Yes, I thought I'd throw that in. That is yours truly as a kid. There's Jimmy, and very happy kid, very great childhood, and loving family and friends. And I don't know, do you think I still look the same pretty much? Maybe the eyes or something. But I wanted to share that with you too. And let's see, there's something else that I came across that was really funny, and I had posted this. Look what we found in the store. This is actually real. Duke Cannon Supply Company News Anchor Hair Wash Tea Tree Formula for a news anchor thick hair. So if any of you, I laughed when I saw this in the store. I had to get it. If any of you want to have thick hair like the news anchors do, or like they used to in the past, I guess you got to get the News Anchor Hair Wash Tea Tree Formula for News Anchor thick hair. I actually tried it once in the shower, and it really does sort of make your hair kind of thicker. It's just funny to see that for News Anchor thick hair. Don't you get a kick out of that? Now, we got some more comments coming in as we are live here on the show. Hope everybody's doing well. If you're just joining us, and what do you have in your glass, or do you even have a glass with you? Let's take a look at some of the comments that are coming in. We got a lot of comments tonight. A lot of people are active, and I love this because we're very interactive on this show. Since we are here live, we are a great alternative to all the negativity that's out there on social media and on the internet and other forms of media. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, let's see. At holiday time, did you use special silverware? I know you mean silverware. Yes, that was a big thing. My folks had special silverware and special holiday dinner plates. And you know how they did it then? They had different plates when people came over for holidays and celebrations. You brought out the good china, things of that nature. The comedian Sebastian Maniscalco does a really funny bit on that whole thing, how we used to, how when people would knock on the front door years ago, everybody would run to the door. We have company. Wow, we have company. Who's here? The kids would slide in their pajamas to the door, and everybody would run to the door. And it was like, we have company. Now when somebody knocks on the door, everybody says, get down, duck, shh, don't make a sound. Who the heck is knocking on our door? And everybody ducks and nobody wants to answer. Same thing when the phone rings. Years ago, when the phone would ring, usually a rotary phone, maybe on a kitchen wall, it would ring and everybody would be excited. Ooh, somebody's calling. Let's get up and answer the phone. Now when the phone rings, people go, who the heck is calling me? Who the heck is bothering me? It's funny. And then he talks about, in his routine, he talks about how there would always be like this special dessert. Maybe it was Entenmann's or it was another cake or something. And that was supposed to be in case company dropped by. You couldn't have any of it. That was for the company. Whether there was really company coming or not, that was specifically for the company. So you have the special cake or cupcakes or cookies, whatever it is, that's for the company. You can't have that. Here, you have this. And how a lot of families did that. And that's true when you think about some of the funny things like that in the past, how things used to be like that. Everything was more dramatic. Now when your phone rings, you're like, oh, who is that? Who is that? More comments coming in here. We're sharing all the comments. And let's see, where did we leave off? We left off with Christopher asking about the silverware at holiday time. And Joseph says his aunt had the same set of glasses on a matching teakwood tray. Yes, there was a teakwood tray. That's right. And the glasses, this is sort of like the salmon color one. There's white and yellow and different colors. And it's actual genuine walnut with a gold trim. There's better. You can see it there. And it says it on the bottom, genuine walnut, the whole thing. And Karen says the drink looks delicious. It really, really is. It's absolutely delicious. Again, it's called Key. It's in a green bottle. I should have brought the bottle to show you. Your drink looks delicious. It really, really does. Pleasantly insane. Wait, does that say insane? Pleasantly insane wee day in Holland. Well, I'm sure it's a beautiful day there. The orange chair looks like it's stacked many times. I know. That's a really cool chair. Have you ever been? You're in Ohio. Have you ever been to the Columbus Museum of Art there in Columbus, Ohio? I know you're in Sylvania. It is gorgeous. I would recommend you do that. Garland Thompson Jr., good to see you in California there, my good friend in Monterey. We got together last time I was shooting documentary out there, and we had a wonderful dinner. We went to North Hollywood, and we were over by CBS Television City, went to a great Italian restaurant, and I hope we get together. When you're on the East Coast, let me know, Garland, and when I'm on the West Coast, I'll let you know. We got to do that again. He's a great friend, terrific person, too, a real great talent, a poet, a producer, and just a great, great friend. Love art museums, the variety of cultures. Love that white chair. That white chair is cool, isn't it? Really, really cool. I agree. And Austin Field, who's watching on YouTube, says cool chairs. And Garland says, love it. And Martha Oliver Swartz says, oh my gosh, yeah, that Queen's chair was cool, right? Right? Yes, today was a great day for cycling and a bike ride. Absolutely. Ernestine says, those are beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed those pictures. And Jim, if you ever get a chance, check out all of the Native American museums. Yes, I have yet to do. There's a couple I have, but I have yet to do more, and I need to get that on my bucket list. One of my favorite places, my friend works actually at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City in Manhattan. And she's worked there for years. Actually, I have two friends that work there. And whenever there's new exhibits, really cool exhibits that they have, we haven't been able to do it lately. Everything is sort of virtually online, but hopefully we'll be able to get back there soon once hopefully things calm down with the pandemic and all. But she would always text me and say, hey, Jim, there's a new exhibit. Come on over. I've gone to their holiday parties too. They throw some really cool holiday parties at the museum. And that's where I met astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's another amazing person. I'd love to get him as a guest on the show. Boy, is he amazing. He's the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York, which is really next to and adjoined with the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. So I got a chance to meet him and chat with him, and we had a wonderful conversation. I've seen him multiple times, and I hope we get a chance to chat again. But my friend texts me all the time when there's new exhibits. And one time we got to go in when nobody else was there, and it was cool to see. There was a dinosaur exhibit, and it was really cool. Little eerie. It was a mummy exhibit too. So to see that at night was a little eerie, but it was cool. It was cool. We thought we heard some sounds. We didn't know what it was, if it was the mummies or what. Kathleen says, really nice. Thank you, Kathleen. And Christopher says, great photo shots. Jim, thank you very much. Christelle Nolan, beautiful photos. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Willie in Netherlands, and I appreciate it. You know, I raise a glass to Willie. You know why? Because do you know what Willie's been doing so she doesn't miss the Jim Masters Show live? She's in Holland. It's like... It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like 2:15 a.m. there. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And she's up watching right now on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. You can watch all the episodes, go back in the archives, watch all the great guests, all the episodes. We had a lot of great guests. You can watch them all on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. And I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel grow. More people get to experience all this great fun and levity and information and entertainment we're doing here on the shows. But Willie has been taking a nap in the daytime so she can stay up late to watch the show in Holland, in the Netherlands, in Europe, and join all of us. As she's writing this, it's almost 2:15 a.m. thereabouts in Holland, and she loves the show so much, which I really appreciate. She joined us just a couple of nights ago, that she's taking naps in the day so she doesn't fall asleep, and she gets up. She does that for Paul Green too, or my good friend Paul Green goes to bed and then wakes up so she can see his performances, and I think that's cool. So we love you, Willie. Thank you very much for doing that. That's a real loyal viewer. Tell all your Dutch friends in the Netherlands to come join us. I was just in the Netherlands last year and the year before, and we loved it. I hope to get back. Renee says, pretty. Thank you very much. And Joseph, watching on the YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV, says, gorgeous pictures. Thank you very much. Love your photos, Karen. Yeah, I love anything that's beautiful and calming, whether it's music, art. As you know, I'm a gardener. I've talked about that. And you have a great eye. Thank you very much, Martha. I appreciate that. Love the nature pictures. I'll have to come up with more of those. I have years of pictures that I've taken. I love all kinds of sunsets. I like the ocean. I just really, there's some really cool shots I took when I was driving alone in Death Valley. I'll have to show you some of those and others, but you take such beautiful, great pictures. Thank you very much. I know which one is your favorite. Kathleen. It's the one when you and I were visiting and on set with Rachel Ray on that Rachel Ray TV show. That's, of all the pictures I've probably taken, that's probably your personal favorite, right, Kathleen? The one, actually, I didn't take that photo. What I did is I took a photo. Well, I took the photo, but what I did is I took a photo of the screenshot. It was a photo of what the television camera people caught, which was us on the TV show there with Rachel Ray, that cool shot. I'll have to show that again. So that's one of my favorite pictures of us, although we do have some really good ones together at Citi Field too in New York. Beautiful sunsets. Hi, Jacqueline. It's so wonderful to see you as well. Thank you very much. News anchor, thick hair. Right. That shampoo is cool, isn't it? Christine is having some Diet Coke. That is fantastic. Did they cover the furniture in plastic too? No, but our Italian neighbors did across the street. They covered their, or do you mean, or are you asking, well, I don't know if you're asking if our family covered our furniture in plastic. We didn't do that. We didn't cover our furniture in plastic. I don't think any of my relatives ever covered their furniture in plastic. One of my aunts did have they had a really beautiful, beautiful Maine couch. I think it went back to the 1940s. It was a real classic. So they would have it reupholstered from year to year, but nobody that I know in our family ever put the plastic on the couches. But we had neighbors a couple of houses over that had the plastic on the living room couches, and when you'd sit on it, you'd hear crinkle and you'd stick to it. And but you might be asking, did they cover the furniture in plastic too? Meaning the art museum, did they cover that over in plastic? Maybe, could be. Love that sketch about Company. Yes, isn't that terrific? That's the one with Sebastian Maniscalco. He's hilarious. Entenmann's, yes, Entenmann's. We used to have access to the Entenmann's plant, one of the Entenmann's plants on Long Island, where they had a thrift outlet where you can go in and get everything discount. And Garland says, wow, so great to see you here, Garland. We're here every single night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And while I have everybody, I'm going to show some more comments. We've got some more to share, but I just want to show everybody really quickly some of the guests that are coming up. We're not ending the show yet, but I just want to show you some guests. Monday, we have the award-winning actress Clara Francesca joining us here on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Very excited about having her join us here. And on Tuesday, the brilliant violinist Tiffany Loren in Chicago, she's going to be with us as well, and I believe she's going to play for us. She's a personal friend. I know her, love her dearly. She's a wonderful friend. She's going to be here on Tuesday live and have a performance for us as well. Another great guest I have coming on Wednesday is another dear friend, the renowned guitarist John LaBarbera. He's performed literally all over the world, and he can play every type of guitar you can think of, including the bouzouki from Greece. He's amazing. He's going to play for us as well. We were just speaking today, and he's going to play for us on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you're going to be very inspired and empowered with Elise Lobianco. Now, if you were with us on Memorial Day, we did a very special show with her husband, the award-winning veteran television actor and movie legend, Tony Lobianco. Well, this is his lovely wife, Elise, who is also a personal friend. We've known her for years, along with Tony. She's joining us on Thursday, and she has so many wonderful messages of inspiration and motivation and empowerment, and she's going to be sharing the love and light with us this Thursday. And then on Friday, see who's joining us then and now. Recognize the face? Remember the TV series Family Affair on CBS with Buffy and Jody and Mr. French? Yes. Brian Keith, Sebastian Cabot, Anissa Jones, Johnny Whitaker. And this is the lovely Kathy Garver. And you see her on the left as Sissy on Family Affair, the very popular show that ran in the 60s and 70s on CBS. You can see it on reruns. You can get the DVDs. Beloved show. And she's going to be our guest next Friday. We're all excited. She's excited. A couple of my friends in the television industry had mentioned to me that she would love to come on, and I'm so excited to have her here. She's going to be warmly welcomed, as all of our guests always are. Sissy from Family Affair, who's done much more than just be on Family Affair. She's a wonderful speaker, author, and she's acted in many other productions. She's just a wonderful person, a great ray of light. She's going to be here Friday. So you're going to be going down memory lane with Sissy from Family Affair. That is next Friday. Isn't that cool? Some great guests lined up. Tomorrow is our viewer of the week as well. So we've got some more comments coming in as we have some fun today here. Let's see. Wow. Yes, Karen, you're right. Sebastian, so funny. Don't forget the dessert for unknown company. That's right. And a bundt cake. Does anybody make bundt cakes anymore? My mother went through a period where she made bundt cakes. And they did I remember the aunts doing crocheting and ceramics and all these different things. The Avon lady, the Fuller Brush man. Remember all of those things? I don't think the Avon now is what? Just all online. Or you get the catalog mailed to you and then you just order it. And so, yeah, Sebastian's great. Whenever he appears, he just sells out. He's funny. I still like to look at some of the old stuff on YouTube. Phyllis Diller and Rodney Dangerfield and George Carlin and just some of the legends. They're so funny. Richard Pryor, very funny, and so many others. And if you were with us, we had Rain Pryor with us here on the show as well. And she was a delight. Wonderful guest to have here. And Sunday dinner. Yes, dressed up at the table. Remember when people used to dress up for holidays and get-togethers and so much more? And the Sanka. Sanka. Remember? Yes. I think he did a bit on the Sanka too. That was very, very funny. I will. Yes, we must. Thanks. Absolutely, Garland. That's a date. We will do that. Dinner, whether it's East Coast or West, we will definitely do that. Even if right now we can only do it sitting outside 6 feet apart, we'll manage. Christine Fairwood, right. And Christine Fairwood was our viewer of the week last week. So we say our continued congratulations that she was our viewer of the week last week. Christine Sanka Fairwood. She was our viewer of the week. We like to celebrate the viewers who are so loyal to the show. Wow, really? You must be exhausted. You didn't do a nap. There you are. It's almost 2:30 in the morning there in Holland. Today, I did no nap. No nap for you. You must be exhausted. Well, you're going to have to get your rest because we're going to have a fun show tomorrow night too. And then we've got a busy week together this coming week. Paul, I was just on before you were. LOL. Yes. That's right. Absolutely. And when we're going to come to Holland again, then we go to diner or probably dinner. Wow. Got an invite to come to Holland for dinner. Well, thank you, Willie. I appreciate that. Nothing's happening right now only because the planes really aren't flying. I'm supposed to be on a TV shoot in Boca Raton, Florida, and I was supposed to be on a TV shoot in San Antonio, Texas, and we were supposed to have gone to Ireland on a TV shoot, but with everything with the planes and the pandemic and all of the chaos with everything as a result of that and the airlines not really flying, we haven't done that yet. But hopefully, with a little Irish luck, perhaps things will start to come back slowly. Got to be cautious. Got to be cautious. I do wear the mask. I do wear the mask when I'm near people. And when we go inside the post office, the stores, the pharmacy, it's out of respect because when I wear it, it helps you. And if you wear it, it helps me. Not everybody's doing it, but, you know, everybody's free to do what they want to do. And David William Smith is here. David just got here, was in a Zoom meeting. It's funny, whenever I hear Zoom, I think of the kids show on PBS that I remember watching. And I think we we did several different PBS pledge drives raising money for that kids show. Zoom, which was very popular. They used to sing Zuma, 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 Zoom. And at the end, all the kids would come up and they would sing, because you used to be able to write to the TV shows. When I was a kid, I had a pen pal. In France, Patricia Porte, and she was in Montmorency, France. And when I was a kid, we used to write back and forth because there was this TV show. This, you might not remember this, but I believe this was on PBS as well. It was called Big Blue Marble. That was the name of the TV show. It was a kids show. And at the end, they used to always say, you could write for a pen pal. You can write to have a pen pal. So I wrote in, and the pen pal wrote back. And if you're not sure what a pen pal is, in case, that's where you would actually write letters to somebody that was far away, and then they would write letters, and you would send pictures and different things. So I used to love all that stuff. I used to have a stamp collection. All those things that we did then, I loved doing. So whenever I see Zoom, I think of the TV show, the kids show Zoom. Boston, Mass. 02134. That's what they used to sing at the end. I'm sure you remember that, Dave. You probably sang it too, didn't you? Boston, Mass. 02134. Willie, 6 hours time difference. You're amazing. I know. It's in the wee hours of the late night. It's already Sunday for Willie. So Willie, since it's Sunday, it's still Saturday over here in the United States and Canada. Is Sunday good? You're already into your Sunday. How's Sunday doing? Everything looking good for Sunday? I always do that when I talk to people who are in time zones behind us. We're Eastern here. So friends that are in Central and Mountain and Pacific, usually on New Year's Eve, we call, and because the New Year's Eve happens here first. Of course, it happens overseas in Europe first, but it happens here first before it happens like in California. So they always call and check in, and they say, so is everything okay? The new year started. Nothing bad happened, right? Because we're going into the new year 3 hours before they are. So we say, no, we're good to go. You should be fine. By the time midnight comes, everything is good. And great time together. Martin, you're welcome back. The door is always open anytime. Great time together. Blessings of health to you, Jim, your family, staff, listeners, Twin Martha. Love you all. Martin and John Gould, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yes, sir. Santa Claus is who we know you as well. I've seen the pictures, and you do a great job as Santa Claus, Martin. And let's see. You took an excellent photo of the screenshot. I love our photos together. So do I. We've got to do some more once we're able to all get together. So many of us, I still haven't even been able to get on a plane to see the family. We have family here, but the family in Florida, the folks and sister and everybody. Not yet. Hope to get down there. Mother's Day has passed. Easter has passed. All these birthdays have passed. Hopefully things will be flying. We'll be able to do that soon. Everything will be safe. The light through the tree shot is very good. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that was a cool shot, wasn't it, Garland? I got to whip out some more shots like that for everybody, because it really just creates some nice peace and solace, which I love to do. And yes, absolutely. And your aunt did the living room furniture in the plastic. Was it in the plastic? No, just your family. No, they didn't do the plastic. We didn't have the plastic, but the Italian family across the street, they had it. They had it all the time. It was there. Yes, still made bundt cakes. And don't forget Red Skelton and Benny Hill. I wonder who remembers Ernie Kovacs. That goes back. There's a really cool cable channel. I don't know if you get it. It's called Tubi, Tubi. And they have all of the nostalgic shows. So many shows you don't even see on YouTube. And documentaries and dramas and so much more. It's called Tubi. We happen to get it here, and it's kind of cool. Your show, always great fun, informative, centered in positivity, time well spent with everyone here. I appreciate that as well. And I love the show Zoom. It was one of my favorite shows. So did I. Wasn't Zoom great? Zoom was really, really terrific. For some reason, Kathleen, I would have expected that with you. You would have been a great pen pal. I was on Long Island. You were in Queens, so it wouldn't have been that far. But I had a lot of pen pals when I was younger. Wasn't that a lot of fun? Where are your pen pals from? Were they from overseas, from Europe or Canada or Australia, other areas? We've been getting a lot of viewers from Europe, Asia, Canada, and Australia as well. And that's beautiful to see. People pop in, and I understand that not everybody can be here every single night. I'm here every single night, but I understand we all have things that happen in our lives and things to do. So I'm fully understanding of that. But when you are here, it's terrific. And if you can share the information to your family and friends and folks on Facebook and elsewhere to tune into the shows, maybe they'll find some cool things they like as well. Spread the word, spread and share the links, have watch parties, tell your friends to join us on Facebook at Jim Masters TV and YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Raised on Zoom TV show. Do a Zoom do. That's right. Zoom. Do you remember Zoom? Boston, Mass. 02134. That was cool. Willie says, yes, dark outside. I wonder who remembers H.R. Puffin stuff. Remember H.R. Puffin stuff? Willie, dark outside, but later the sun is here. Boy, I guess you're making it all-nighter. You're staying up all night, huh, Willie? On YouTube, it is 9 hours later there. Wow. Your sun's going to be coming up real soon. Over 14 years is St. Nick. Ho, 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 ho. Martin, absolutely. That's fantastic. That's a great record. They had clear vinyl seats and furniture covers. Yes. There was a period, yes, where they did. My parents had not the, yes, I remember the kitchen having the vinyl chairs. Yep, that was very big. And sometimes like slip covers. They used to call them, I guess they still call it slip covers. People used to do that a lot. They would keep the furniture, but they would put different slip covers over them. Not necessarily the plastic. Some people did the plastic to preserve it, but they would do just different slip covers that would actually cover the couch and create a whole different look to the room. They would change the lamp shades, different things without going out and buying all new furniture. Now everything is so disposable. People have things for 10 minutes and they throw it out. Years ago, people would hang on to, because things were built more solidly too, the wood they used and everything. So they would want to keep the couches and the end tables and chairs and everything. So with the couches and everything, they used to do slip covers. And I remember there's a period where a couple of different slip covers went on one of the main couches in the living room. I remember that. Renee, yes, 2:31 hour. That's exactly right. 2:31 a.m. in Holland. I must raise a glass to you again, which just gives me another opportunity to sip some of the Kiki. Can you see it? I don't know. It is sort of like a light green. It's like a key lime. It's a Kiki key lime pie cream liqueur or creme liqueur. Excuse me. Really light, very, very refreshing. It's just as light as a feather. It is, trust me. And Renee says she remembers H.R. Puffin stuff. Yeah. Produced by Sid and Marty Croft. That was a cool special. A lot of the kids, Land of the Lost was another one. Wacky Racers. Those are all cool. Felix the Cat. So many cool things, So let's see. A lot more comments coming in. I'll show those, but I showed you the guests that are coming up. So the evening will be coming to a wrap momentarily, but I do want to say to everybody, it's always a blessing to have you here. Now, is it just me? Does it feel like an hour and a half just went by? I mean, it's 8, we're Eastern here, so it's 8:30 p.m. It does not feel like it's, maybe to you, I don't know, maybe because I'm doing all the talking, it just doesn't feel like an hour and a half went by. Every show just whoosh, zips by in a New York minute. Or at least it does for me. I don't know if it does for you. I certainly hope it does for you. If it does, then I'll have to talk faster. We'll have to wrap and do a half-hour show. No, I mean, initially I wanted to do an hour show. I think I said that on day one, and I think I've kept to that. We've just been having so much fun with everybody, and whether it's the guests and let's see. Oh, there's another comment coming in here. Oh, Captain Caveman. Yes, that's another one. And now I go to sleep. Come on, everybody. Let's all collectively, let's see if we can get everybody here. We'll get some of the characters here. How many of them can I fit in my hand? Oh, my God. Jimmy is sort of falling off, but we say a good night to Willie, and I can't lift Jeannie or the bottle will drop on the floor and smash. But George, there you are, George and Silver and Jimmy. I think Jimmy's been nipping at the key lime creme liqueur because have you been nipping? I told you to play with Silver. Have you been nipping? You're too young to be nipping at that stuff. And you're too old to be nipping at it. I noticed that it's sitting in front of George here, and it is lowered substantially. George, I told you to keep an eye on Jeannie. So there you go, Willie, in Holland. Your friends Jimmy and Silver and the whole gang. I tell you, this is funny stuff. Crazy boy. Well, remember, again, like Dr. Siegel said, nobody's normal. Good night, Willie. So you've got everybody's joining me. See, I rounded up the troops, Willie. Everybody's saying good night to you in Holland. I mean, you're a real trooper. It's 2:30 a.m. there for you, and you stayed up all day to be with us. Now you get some nice sleep so you can be with us tomorrow. And she says good night, and everybody's saying good night to you. Good night, Willie. Sleep tight from Kay-Ann. So it's a beautiful name, Kay-Ann. That's the first time I've ever heard that name, Kay-Ann. That's really, really beautiful. So we have some amazing guests. Oh, somebody mentioned Mario Frangoulis, the Greek singer, who's an amazing performer. And I've had an opportunity. I interviewed him on public television, PBS, years back. And we've stayed in touch. He's really terrific. This was I want to show you this picture. It's really amazing. This was a really cool event. I was with Mario Frangoulis and George Perez and Andrea Stasu, who used to work for CBS News, dear friend. And this was at a great event in New York City. I believe one of the anchors from WABC, Channel 7 in New York City, Eyewitness News, was there too. But look at this shot. I'm in the middle with Andrea Stasu, who was with CBS News. And oh, no, actually, this is a different picture. Forget everything I just said. I'll have to dig up that other picture. This is something cool, too. I'll get the other picture of Mario, I promise. That's somewhere in the vault. This picture is really cool. This is these students. This goes back. I was emceeing a charity event for breast cancer, and it was really, really a beautiful. This is the sort of like the Glee Club at Yale University. And I was master of ceremonies for this event. And they were from the Yale School of Music. And they were singing and they were performing. And it was such a wonderful night. And again, it was a fundraising event, charity event, held really to raise funds for, it was in February, everybody was wearing sort of pink. I have a pink tie on. There's pink balloons and everything. It was to raise funds for breast cancer research. I do a lot of charity work for the homeless, for breast cancer, for heart disease, a variety of different ones. And I always enjoy doing it. And that's what that photo was. Yeah, I'll get you the Mario Frangoulis one too. That's a funny one. But that was really, they were great too. It's their a cappella group. That's right. The Yale a cappella group from Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. That was a great, great event and a great evening. And more comments coming in. Karen says to Willie, if Willie hasn't left yet, sleep well, Willie. And you're very welcome, Kay-Ann. It is a beautiful night. And June is saying to Willie, sleep tight. Willie, really a trooper. Garland in beautiful Monterey, California, says good night, Willie. And Willie says thank you to everybody. Willie loves this show. And I'm glad she does. Sweet dreams, Miss Willie. And everybody's saying thank you and sleep well. And it's nice how everybody pays respects to each other. Some more comments coming in here. Ernestine Webb in North Carolina. Thanks for the entertainment tonight. Good night, everyone, and stay safe. God bless all. You as well, Ernestine. Hope to see you 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific tomorrow night. Anyone remember Sir Graves Ghastly, one of my favorite shows growing up? Also, Dark Shadows. Yeah, Dark Shadows was another terrific one. Remember that? And reruns for me, but Ernestine Webb, good night, North Carolina. Karen remembers Dark Shadows. It's another great one as well. Hey, I also encourage you to go back in the archives. If you missed the show where I had a wonderful interview with Elizabeth Kiefer, that was a fantastic show. We were on for about an hour and a half, and she starred for 17 years in Guiding Light. She was also in the soap opera, the legendary soap opera. She was Blake on Guiding Light. She was a blast. I interviewed her first on the radio, and then she came on the show on my entertainment lifestyle talk show series here, the Jim Masters Show Live. And she was a wonderful guest. And that full interview is in the archives at Jim Masters TV. Check that one out. Also with Rain Pryor and Stephen Cole and Paul Green and on and on and on, Dan Goggin. And Loretta LaRoche, definitely watch the one with humorist Loretta LaRoche. If you missed that one, she's a stress management expert. She is so hilarious, dry humor, dry wit. We had a wonderful, funny conversation. That's archived at YouTube as well at Jim Masters TV. But the Liz Kiefer episode was great because she talked about one of her first gigs in California acting, because she grew up in California. She lives in New York now, was on Lou Grant. And then she got a role on Happy Days and Joni Loves Chachi and so many 21 Jump Street. And then the soaps. She was on General Hospital. She was on Days of Our Lives. She was on The Young and the Restless. She was on One Life to Live. And then 17 years as Blake on Guiding Light. We did a whole interview with her. We had a lot of laughs. And that's available too on the archives. And also the Memorial Day episode with Tony LoBianco. That's still there too. All the episodes are there. And Dr. Siegel last night too. Dark Shadows, big fan. June was a big fan of that as well. What are you watching now? I mean, I watch a lot of archive stuff too. Some reruns and different movies and things of that nature. I'm so busy, my professional work in television and broadcast media, that sometimes it's tough to take time to actually watch the shows. But I'm always checking things out, and I like the nostalgic stuff too, especially, again, the comedians from the past. I really, really love them. So what a great night. I can't believe this. Thanks to everybody who stuck with us. This was a fun night. Again, it was a viewer interaction night. We took you down to Florida through some pictures and to the Columbus Museum of Art. We had some great nostalgic memories. We sent Willie to bed in Holland. She's been tucked in neatly in bed. Kathleen told us about the many shades of gray that she loves. And Karen loves Dark Shadows, and so does Martha. And everybody remembers Zoom. Oh, yeah. Hallmark. My mother loves the Hallmark Channel. Yeah. Lifetime and Hallmark. She can tell you all the different movies. She used to love the soaps too. My mother worked for 33 years for Estee Lauder, the cosmetic company in New York. And then when she had retired, she fell in love with Hallmark. I have some friends that work at the Hallmark Channel. Hallmark's a great channel. It's very, the movies are very wholesome and just, they're beautifully shot. And of course, Paul is in many of them. And Paul Green and I, as I mentioned, we see each other usually at Carnegie Hall. And I really enjoyed the time with him. And I'm so happy that we had him here on the show. And he played for us as well. You can go back and see that terrific episode on the Jim Masters Show at Jim Masters TV on YouTube. And KN loves the Hallmark movies too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Hallmark movies are much more tame and inspirational. The Lifetime movies, sometimes they can, a lot of people watch those too, but sometimes those are more, she's cheating on me, he's cheating on me. This one's some of those movies are interesting. But a gig is a gig, right? A gig is a gig. Good night, Jim Masters. I'm going out for a ride with my husband and dog, Dudley. Oh, your dog, Dudley. Before you go, what kind of dog is Dudley? And maybe you can email me a picture. If you want, folks, you can email me photos if you have dogs, pets. We don't want to use that word pet because we'll say family member, loved one. you can email them to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Maybe we'll show them tomorrow night when we do Viewer of the Week and some other surprises. So if you have some photos that you want me to show tomorrow night, maybe of your beloved loved one, family friend, definitely email those to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That's jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That is the email address to the show directly. And I will download those and maybe we'll show them tomorrow night. Even if it's a beloved, I want to say pet, beloved family member, pet family member, one of these, or a cat or bird that isn't with you anymore, but you loved, feel free to send along the photo and we'll show them. And you can tell us who that is that we're looking at tomorrow night. So when you get a chance, let me know about Dudley. I'd like to know what kind of dog Dudley is. It's a cool name, Dudley. Just like Wally, the goldfish I had, right? Sort of those funny names, Dudley and Wally. And we had a black cat once named Pompous, which is actually a really cool name for a cat because they're so finicky. Pompous, a black cat, yellow eyes, tail would snap straight up. Really loving cat. Lasted about 20 years, believe it or not. And the name was Pompous and lived up to that name all the way to the end. Fun show, Jim. Thank you very much, Kathleen, as well. Garland is watching Hollywood on Netflix. That's a great one, too. You know what I miss? I think Paul Green was actually in this. It was the series Newsroom. That was an Aaron Sorkin production, I believe. That was really good. And that was on... That wasn't Netflix. That was HBO. That was on HBO. And it was short-lived. And there was some top actors in it. And it was so reflective of the times, too. Could you imagine what that series would have been talking about today with everything that's happening? Of course, the societal unrest, the economic situation, the pandemic, everything that we're all experiencing together. And that would be interesting to see the take that Newsroom would have had on that. I miss that show. It was a really, really good show. Another interesting show. Thank you very much, Renee. I really appreciate that. It's just wonderful sometimes just engaging with you and chatting with all of you directly live right here on the broadcast. I really enjoy doing that. And Hollywood is a great period piece. It really, really is. I need to catch up on that too. Missing. See you soon. Gotta run. We don't have to run. You can walk. My mother does the same thing. My mother says, I'm going to, on the phone, I'm going to jump in the shower now. And I always say, well, you don't have to jump. Matter of fact, I would prefer you don't jump into the shower. You can just step into the shower. Please don't jump into the shower. We all say that. It's all of our lingo. Furry family member. If you have photos, send them to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And maybe we'll show photos of your family friends, your pet, your family friend, Hiya, Tiffany. Good to see you, Tiffany. Tiffany will be with us on Tuesday night, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. She's going to play for us, and we're just so happy to have her here. She's a dear friend, a wonderful violinist, and more. And she's going to be with us on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, live. So we look forward to that. And Tiffany is sitting outside with Pumpkin, our Chihuahua and Dachshund. Oh, I love that. Send me a picture. Maybe we'll email it to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And maybe I will show it tomorrow night on our show on the Sunday edition of the broadcast. Tiffany, love to see your Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Really a great combination. It's only 55 there and breezy. So a little chilly there in Michigan. And again, as mentioned, we have a little Kiki here. I think George Burns has really been nipping at this thing. It really does taste like key lime pie. It is Kiki, Keke, key lime creme liqueur. It's delicious. On a Saturday night with the disco ball and everything else, all we need is Saturday Night Fever music and we're all set, right? That just tastes better and better every time you have some. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? Yes, that's a cute name too, right? Yes, Chewini. So, gang, we've been on since 7 p.m. this evening. We sent Willie to bed, tucked her in bed in Holland. I think she all wants, we should do a road trip. I think she wants us to come. I know she wants me to come to Holland, but if you all want to come with me, maybe we should go to Holland or somewhere else together. Maybe we'll have one of those types of things. Anyway, I'm going to say good night, everybody. You take care. It is a wonderful opportunity to spend time with you on a Saturday night. You're not going to believe this, everybody. Whoever is still there, guess who's still with us? Willie, you must go to bed. You must get your beauty sleep. Willie in Holland, it's now almost 3 a.m. It's approaching 9 p.m. here, 10 to 9. And you are still... Well, then I better wrap the show so you can go to bed because you are so loyal. You're going to stay with it. Willie, folks, we sent Willie to bed. We tucked her in and she's still up because she's loving the stories. Renee, you have a wonderful night. Have a great night, Kathleen. We'll be here tomorrow. Everybody, send me some photos of your beloved animals. I'm not talking about the two-legged, unless there are a few two-legged. And good night again to Willie. LOL, Willie. Email them to jimmasterstv@gmail.com and maybe we'll show them tomorrow night on the show. Again, this is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series, so we have everything on this show: pets, food, music, guests, jokes, levity, all kinds of good stuff. Okay, here she goes. Okay, I go. Well, now we're not sending you off. We're not shoving you off. We're just saying you've been very, very good, Willie, and we really appreciate you being with us all this time. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Although, believe me, there's times I stay up all night too. I understand if you're really excited and you're having fun and you're enjoying. So we really appreciate that, Willie. It's beautiful of you to do that. So we're going to sign off, folks, as we bring ourselves up to the 9 o'clock hour here. It's a blessing and a joy. And before you go, remember what we do. We do this first. There's a whole routine here. I'm surprised I don't knock anything. I almost knocked the George Burns off the other night. Whew, he almost went flying. So there you go. I may be the host of the show and the star of the show, but I think you guys are truly the stars. And I say that every night. A little goofy maybe, but what the heck. Sure beats the alternative, which is just a bunch of negativity out there these days. Don't let anybody get you down. Don't let anybody talk you down. There's always going to be people who don't agree with you. There's always going to be people who say, well, no, thanks, and everything else. Just do you. Be a star because you are a star. And remember, as we always say on this show, with all the light and levity and fun and entertainment we have here, we say relax, breathe, count your blessings, love one another, be peaceful, be loving, be empathetic. Even if that doesn't come naturally for you, give it a shot. I think you'll love the way the world responds to you when you do offer up some kindness and a friendly tone and nature. Listen to each other as well. We all have something to contribute. We all have something to say. That's the way the world was created. It wasn't made just for me or just for you. It was made for all of us. So, and we all bleed red. So count your blessings, breathe from the diaphragm. Maybe we'll get somebody who does meditation on the show too. We've been getting some inspirational people on, and I love all that stuff. So I'm going to get some more. We are booked. Just so you know, we're booked for the entire month of June, and we are just about almost booked with guests to the end of July. Would you believe that? We're actually booking into August now. August. So many people are coming on the show and want to hop on the show. I can't believe it. I love every second of it too. So relax, breathe. You have a wonderful night. Tell all your friends about our show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. I'd love it. Friend the page or like the page, I guess, Jim Masters TV, that one you like. You can also find me on Instagram at Jim Masters TV and Twitter at Jim Masters TV. So relax, breathe. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your Saturday night. Thanks for joining us on Saturday night with the disco ball and all your friends here and all your friends there from around the world joining us. And We love you all, and it's a blessing having you in our life, and a blessing that you're here as often as you are. I truly appreciate that. Spread the sunshine. Tell everybody. We're going to be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, same place, YouTube at Jim Masters TV, Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Go back in the archives if you missed any of the shows. If you want to see the Dr. Siegel interview again, it's a good one. Invest some time in it, 3.5 hours. But it's really rich in content, a beautiful conversation. Really cool stuff. So all your friends say goodnight. Silver says goodnight. And George Burns, my sidekick, sort of my Ed McMahon, he says goodnight to you as well with a cigar and all. And Jeannie says goodnight. You better believe it. She's in there and she says her goodnight as well. And your friend that you always ask about, Jimmy. If you had a bad day, just give Jimmy a look. He'll put a smile on your face. I try to. This Jimmy does too, but this Jimmy's been doing it for years. All right, gang. Relax, breathe, love one another. Love you all. You take care. Thanks for watching this episode on a Saturday night of the Jim Masters Show Live. And just so everybody sees and Willie proves to us that she's actually going to bed in Holland. Bye, 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 bye. Was that New Kids on the Block? Or was that In Sync? Bye, bye, bye. I'll have to dig that one up. Smooches for everybody from Willie. Thank you very much, Willie. Right back at you in Holland. Garland. Thanks, Garland. I appreciate that. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're just about at the top of the hour. Top of the hour. That's a broadcast phrase, right? Top of the hour. We love you being here. Hope you had a good time with us tonight. Lots of viewer interaction. We always have incredible guests. We've got a full lineup of guests next week. Really cool people. Tomorrow night, viewer of the week. Send me some photos of your beloved pets if you want. Feel free to. Send them to Jim Masters. That's JIMMASTERS TV. Jim Masters TV at gmail.com. And if I get them by, maybe mid-afternoon tomorrow, East Coast time, Eastern time, maybe we can get them in time to show tomorrow. And we can see your lovely, lovely family member, your pet, your family member. In Sync. Yes, I knew if I didn't wrap the show up yet, and I waited long enough, and I sort of vamped and stretched it out, somebody would get it. That's right, In Sync. Bye, bye, bye. Maybe I should use that as my goodbye, right? Karen once again says good night. I know we're trying to tuck Willie into bed so she can get some sleep, right, Karen? Maybe we just go, maybe we do some calm. And then Willie will get tired. And then Willie will truly go to bed. And she'll get the sleep that she really needs, And Kathleen Walker has also said, In Sync. You're right. You know what I love too? Is you and I are in sync every night here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Great show. A lot of fun. I can't believe it's been 2 hours. This is unreal. This is really amazing. You guys talk a lot. Love you all. A blessing. And an honor and a joy. And I encourage you again, a couple of reminders here. We're going to have our viewer of the week tomorrow, which is exciting. Of course, share the links on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also find me at Jim Masters TV on Instagram and Twitter. And again, if you want to see the past episodes of our show, they are there, all of them, at YouTube, at Jim Masters TV. All the episodes, great guests, fun, levity, so much more. So it's a great opportunity to have some fun and learn some things too. We have some great, great topics that we cover here on the show. A lot of love, light, and levity. That's what the show is all about. Take care, Garland. Thanks for joining us. We welcome you back. We're here nightly, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Every show is different, unique. Tonight was just a lot of fun and viewer interaction. We really enjoy that. And thanks for you joining us as well in beautiful Monterey. All right, gang, you're the best from all around the world, United States, Canada, Asia, Europe, Australia, everywhere we hear from. Don't forget to get your news anchor hair, that thick shampoo, and one more shot there. Isn't that nice? leaving you with a beautiful shot like that along the southern New England coastline. For all of us, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Got to throw this in there. Got to get that smile from Garland. Thanks, Garland. I appreciate it. And another one, great work, Jim. Tim, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. My good friend watching right now on YouTube, master composer and musician and dear person Tim is. Consider him a phenomenal friend that I've had for many, many years. Thanks, Tim. There's your beautiful shot, everybody, of the southern New England coastline. Really, really nice. And here's another shot for you that everybody liked tonight. Some peaceful shots for you to enjoy. And a lot of people love this one that I took. Again, I love the way I was able to capture the sunlight coming through the tree and the beautiful reflective nature of the sun's rays just peeking through. Really, really nice. All right, everybody. This has been unbelievable. I can't believe 2 hours has gone by. This is unbelievable. Good night, Jim. Great job. Garland, thank you very much. And again, when I'm back out on the West Coast, dinner, and we must do that again. That was so much fun when we were in North Hollywood that whole night. We had a great conversation. We had great dinner at that Italian restaurant. We got to do it again. Or when you're here on the East Coast, because I know you come out here for projects as well, we got to get together, Garland. That is a date. And Pamela Perkle. Pamela, thank you very much. I'm glad that we stuck around to see your comment. You have a great show always. Glad I found you via Paul Green. Yes, again, I appreciate that. And we had such a wonderful time, Paul and I. Really, really wonderful. All the guests. Again, we've got so many people joining us next week. Again, I want to go over it one more time for the folks who are seeing the show late. Maybe you're just joining us. We have some amazing people joining us next week, and I'm very honored and excited to have them here. Again, we are booked with guests all the way till August. I cannot believe it. It's been unreal. Some of the guests coming up here on the show. Monday, the award-winning and talented actress Clara Francesca is joining us this Monday. Very, very excited. On Tuesday, award-winning violinist Tiffany Lauren is going to be with us as well. She's watching our show right now as we speak, and we love it. Wednesday, another dear friend, John LaBarbera, a brilliant and award-winning guitarist, can play every kind of guitar you can think of, including the bouzouki from Greece. He is a real deep soul. Dear friend, we were just talking today. He's hopping on the Jim Masters Show live on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, again, another dear friend, Elise Lobianco. She's a very spiritual person, very inspiring, very empowering. She is the wife of the legendary movie and television veteran, Tony Lobianco, who's another dear friend. If you watched us on Memorial Day, we had Tony with us as our special guest. Elise is joining me on Thursday. She'll have some very positive stories and positive inspiration and messages. And then on Friday, Kathy Garver. That's right, Kathy Garver, the brilliant actress, speaker, and author. Kathy Garver played Sissy on the CBS series Family Affair. That's right, in the 60s and 70s. There she is, as Sissy on the left, and there she is today. She's joining us as my special exclusive guest on Friday. I say thanks to a couple of my friends in the television industry that mentioned her availability. I appreciate that, and she's hopping on Friday, and I can't wait. She's a beautiful person inside and out. Also, coming up a little bit late, and we thank very much last night, Dr. Bernie Siegel and his grandson, Charlie, such inspirational people. They were with us for a 3.5-hour episode, and we just talked about everything you can talk about in life. They loved it. I heard from both of them today. They texted, they emailed, we called. They want to be back on the show again. I don't know if we'll go as long as that. You know, it's up to the guests how long they want to go. But Bernie loved it. And he was really, he was sharing some really poignant inspiration. And I love that. Award-winning veteran television and movie actress Lane Bradbury is going to be joining us here exclusively on the show as well in the coming weeks. president of the Happiness Club, which is this wonderful international organization all about sharing love and happiness. Just look at his tie with the smiley faces. That's Lionel Ketchian. I've known him for years. He was in the studio at public television when I was there. That's actually how I met Bernie Siegel as well, and we've stayed friends. And then veteran television, network news anchor, and radio host Rita Cosby is going to be joining us in a couple of weeks here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show live as well. So we have a wealth of incredible people coming up. And even when there's no guests, because I like to have some nights where we don't have guests, so you and I can interact and we can have some fun together. Yes, I know. Your goodbyes are like Paul Green's. Just one more song, 10 songs later. I said, the book, do I still have it here? It's so apropos. Yeah, this one from last night with Bernie Siegel. No endings, only beginnings. So I guess I've been sanctioned to have the longer goodbyes. No endings, they're only beginnings. So I understand what you mean about Paul and not being a good goodbye person. And he'll say, okay, well, one more song and then we'll wrap it. And then he does 10 more songs. I know I'm always thinking of 1,000 different things too to entertain you and share with you as well. So I know it's a long goodbye. I'm not a good goodbye person. I'm a good hello person. And how are you? I don't even like to say goodbye. I like to say see you later and take care and be well. So we will get ready to wrap up now. And as I mentioned, we will be, as we did, we love visiting the ocean. I'm definitely an ocean person. That's the Atlantic Ocean. And that actually is off the coast of New York on Long Island. And that's a beautiful shot. Give me the ocean and I'm a very, very happy boy. It just inspires me. Pamela Perkle, till we talk again. That's right. So very true. Yes, about the just one more song and 10 songs later. We give you value for the price of admission, don't we? We certainly do. There's no charge. You just tune in and watch and enjoy, and we give you great value for the money. There's also no refunds either. All right, gang, we're going to wrap things up. Again, all watching on YouTube around the world, all watching on Facebook at Jim Masters TV around the world. You're a joy, you're a blessing, you're an inspiration. I keep doing the show because I love it, and I'm having a ball with all of you. So we are saying sayonara, we're saying ciao, auf Wiedersehen, good night, and love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. This really is the goodbye. This is the goodbye. We'll cheer you with the key lime pie creme liqueur. I toast you and you and you and you and you and you. Thanks for being with us, everybody. It's always a pleasure and an honor and a real blessing. I bid you a fine. There's a lot of people still watching. That's why it's tough to say goodbye. I hate to, but Willie won't go to bed in Holland if we don't say goodbye. Yes, yum. Yeah, I know. That is delicious. Yeah, it is very, very good. Pamela, thank you for joining us. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Willie, I hope Willie's in bed. It's 3:00 in the morning there, and she's been trying to go to bed. I hope she's in bed. Good night, gang. A pleasure to have you here. You're all the very best. I love this audience, and it just continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And that's because people are discovering it, but also because you guys are sharing the links. You're having watch parties. It's beautiful. Touches my heart. You have a good night. We will see you tomorrow. If you're here, 7 p.m. Eastern, viewer of the week, send me some of those pet photos at jimmasterstv@gmail.com. We'll show those, and then get ready for an amazing week of guests all week long next week. And another comment comes in. Night, John Boy. You're right. It is kind of like that, right? Good night, good night, good night. You and you and you. I know it is. I know. So we're going to say our official good night. We already said the relax. We already showed you that you're a star. So we're going to say the good night because Willie is sleeping in Holland right now. And we don't want to wake Willie up because Willie is sleeping so she can be with us. It's almost morning now where she is in Holland. We don't want to wake her up because she needs her beauty sleep. So, all right, gang, we will see you soon. A lot of fun, light, levity, and love on this show tonight. Another comment comes in. God bless. You too, KN. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. God bless you as well. And thank you again for being with us on this episode. I'm whispering so we don't wake Willie up. She's sound asleep, I hope, in Holland. All right, gang. You have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, or wherever you are around the world. Take care. Have a great day, great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good night.